Hey guys, in this video today I'm going to show you how you can select records in a data set using slicers essentially and conditional formatting. So what I'm going to do is show you how you can merge both conditional formatting with slicers or Excel slicers from a pivot table to essentially select records or highlight records in a data set. So in this case here I have an HR salary data set, and what I'm thinking I want to do is I want to highlight either the region name. I'm going to start with the region name actually. So we're going to highlight the region name using a slicer based off of the selection of the user of the spreadsheet. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to select the entire data set by clicking Control A, and I'm currently on a specific cell within the data set, and that will select our entire sheet. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to say Pivot Table, and I'm going to allow it to get created on a new worksheet. So now that it's on the new worksheet, we're going to now select our region name. We'll drop it into that rows section, and you'll see here that we have the three regions. Now that the three regions are there, we're going to go to the Design tab. We'll stay on the Analyze tab. We're going to go to Insert Slicer, and we're going to select region name. I'm going to hit OK. That's going to generate this little slicer table on the right hand side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that, hit Control X. We're going to go back over to our data set. I'm then going to paste it over to the right of our data set, and I'll just hit paste here. So now we have this slicer set up to the right of our data set. So what we can do is if I were to select one, you'll notice that the first cell of our data set has Europe highlighted as I've selected it. And what I can now do is use that value in that first cell of our pivot table to reference and then create a highlighted record with conditional formatting. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to select the second line on this table, and I'm going to go over to conditional formatting. We're then going to go over to new rule, and then I'm going to go use formula. And I'm going to type equals if this cell, B2 in this case, and I'm going to take, again, this is important, is making sure that the $sign is removed from the row, because that will remove the fully absolute reference to the row, so that when I copy this down, this formula down, or this formatting down, conditional formatting down, it's going to copy it and allow that B2 to change within each cell. So it'll allow the next record, when I copy it, it's going to move it down to B3. If I were to leave it with the $sign, it would stay at that B2 the entire time as I copied the formula and the conditional formatting down. So now that I've done that, I'm going to type in equals. We're going to head over now to sheet 2. I'm going to select just this A4 cell, which is the first cell of our pivot table on the sheet 2, or on the second sheet. I'm going to hit format, and then I'm going to decide on how I want this to be formatted. So I'm going to select just a dark orange here as highlighted on the outside border, and then for the fill I'll do a nice light orange like that. Once I hit OK, so now you see that I've selected it. And of course nothing has happened. Now if I were to select North America, you'll see that that highlights that record. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select Control C, and so I just selected that entire row by hitting Control Shift right arrow. I'm going to now go Control Shift right arrow down arrow all the way down to the bottom of the data set. I'm going to go right click, and I'm going to use this formatting paste. Excellent. So now that I've done that, you'll see that it's highlighting all North American records because I have North America highlighted on my slicer. If I were to select Europe, you'll see that Europe now gets highlighted. And if you want to go a step further, you could make this pretty interactive with filters and stuff like that, so that if we were to set a filter and then applied a little bit of VBA, you could make a kind of a really cool data set here. So if I just highlight by and filter by color as I just did there, and then we just keep this data tab available. If we used a little bit of VBA to say anytime that the slicer event is enabled and we change the data set, it would automatically then reapply the filter. So you could use VBA to do that. So if I were to select North America now, and then I just hit reapply, of course it's going to show all the North American records like that. Or if you want to simply just leave it as is, as we've had it, and we hit OK, I have all the records here, you can just select the slicer and it'll quickly select each of them using the slicer and highlight all the records for that particular region name selected. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave any comments below. And if you have anything that you want done in terms of a video, or you're really looking to see something cool, definitely leave a comment and ask me about it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.